Welcome to a brief tour of Wavestore's new health monitor. Firstly, let's start by addressing some of the key challenges organizations face in managing their security systems. We could be looking at reactive maintenance. Some organizations struggle with identifying and addressing system issues before they escalate. Fragmented monitoring. It can be difficult to manage multiple sites and servers with disparate tools. A lack of transparency. Having limited visibility into hardware and software performance hampers proactive decision-making. And time-consuming troubleshooting. Retrieving logs and diagnosing faults can take hours, delaying resolutions. So Wavestore's Health Monitor is designed to directly address these pain points, providing an intuitive and powerful tool for proactive system management. So let me show you how. So we start at the login screen. One of the main benefits to call out here is that users can be set up to ensure that roles are customized and only authorized personnel can access critical areas of the system. This makes sure that we're compliant with security protocols while maintaining operational efficiency. Once you're logged in, you're then taken into the dashboard. So the dashboard is your centralized hub, which provides an at-a-glance summary of your entire system. If you don't have Health Monitor, sometimes there's lots of fragmented tools required across different platforms that you need to access to get a full picture. Here, everything's pulled together. So let's have a tour of what's on screen. Issues are identified very quickly and very visibly using the color coding on our server statuses, on our map, or on our charts. We also have the option to customize our dashboard screen. Let's step through that process. Firstly, we can look at our configuration, whether it's setting up our users, our regions, or the actual servers. We can also configure our map, so we can toggle between light mode and dark mode, whether that's on here or within the dashboard itself. Going back to the dashboard, you can see we're currently in dark mode. We also have the option to switch from dark to light mode. So depending on your use case and your context, you can switch between light and dark modes depending on your user environment. Progressing from that, we also have the opportunity to have a light map and a dark background. So again, totally configurable to your tastes. Language-wise, we're currently configured for English, Italian, Spanish, German, and French. Looking at the examples here, you can see how that works through. For our users in the Middle East, we are also in Arabic, and our configuration allows us to move between layouts from left to right and right to left, as demonstrated here. Let me just switch back to English for now for the purposes of this demonstration. So now let's go into the components of the dashboard. At the top of the dashboard are our key metrics, where we can quickly see number of servers in fault and anything require maintenance or a warning. We can see that spread by region. So at the top level, depending on how we configure our regions, we can look at what regions contain faults at a glance. And likewise, we can see how that's split across in graphical format. To the right-hand side of the panel, we can configure specific server names. So there's specific servers that you know of and need to access directly at any point in time, you can click from here. A point to note is that with Health Monitor being a web-based tool, is that you have further flexibility in how you configure your personal setup. If there's particular servers that you want to keep an eye on, you can open these in different tabs. That way, if there are critical servers that require your full attention, you can quickly navigate to them just using the browser tabs. So now let's look at the mapping features for geographical visibility. One of the common challenges in navigating across geographically dispersed sites is understanding where they are. Health Monitor's interactive mapping feature lets you zoom in from a global view down to a specific server or camera in seconds. For example, if a fault is reported here in Uxbridge, we can click on that site and it takes us to the server page. This enables us to quickly identify those servers that may contain an issue and those that are running well. Let's go back to the dashboard page. What we found and what's been fed back to us is that people value the ability to visualize the operations on a map, eliminating guesswork and speeding up troubleshooting, and that works particularly well in multi-site environments. Now that we've looked at the map, let's have a look at the site page. We looked at a demonstration earlier where we click down through our map view down to a particular site. There's other ways of getting to sites. We can look at our menu structure on the left. So if we want to look at Uxbridge, we can click on Europe. Europe then splits down to UK, and the UK splits down to site. So whether it's from scrolling your wheel or in a matter of clicks, you can quickly get down to the site in question. Once you select a site, the site page lists all servers in that location along with their statuses. A major pain point is often the lack of clear server health indicators. Here you get immediate clarity with color-coded health statuses and easy navigation to any specific server. This means that your security and IT teams can prioritize their efforts, focusing on critical faults first, ensuring better uptime and performance. Let's have a look at a server right now. I'll have a look at server 8231, just as an example right here. From clicking onto the server, you then access the server page, which provides deep insights for proactive maintenance. So let's drill down. So this is how we address one of our users' biggest frustrations. Sometimes there's really limited visibility into server performance and hardware health. As you can see on the screen, there's lots of detailed metrics. We have real-time data on CPU, RAM, and disk usage, which allows you to catch performance bottlenecks early on. Let's click through some of these as an example. Obviously, connected to servers, we have cameras. At a glance, we can click on our camera icon and we can check the status of camera streams. In this case, they all look to be recording healthily. If there's ever an instance where if troubleshooting we need to provide logs, we can hit export and we can download a camera log. Let's head back to our server screen. In addition to cameras, we can also see information about our server in question. At a glance, we can check software version, we can see the model of the server, we can check out the hardware composition, where it's from, and the CPU, as well as key information about the network configuration. As we drop into the next row of tiles on the dashboard, we have network status. This is where we can see bandwidth, usage, and identify any unusual looking spikes. As we can see here, we've had some drop-offs over time. This will then allow us to troubleshoot and resolve those things. This appears to be a weekly incident, so therefore is there a weekly routine that's impacting the operation of our server and our health. Now let's look into another screen. If you look into the detailed CPU screen, what we can see here is a detailed view of sensors, including temperatures, loads, fan speeds, and voltages. So if we need to get down to the nitty-gritty of the health of individual components within our server, we can get to it from the screen. So expanding on that, once we've considered our individual server sensor health, our network status, and our cameras, a very important component of a server system is the disks. Let's have a look at what we can see from our disk tile. Once we click into disks, what pops up is a schematic of how the disks are configured in your system. This way, we can see the way that the disks operate. Are there any spikes or unusual activity in their temperatures? We also get a snapshot of the geometry of your system and the health of it. One of the strengths of this view that has been fed back to us is this view of disk enclosure. If you ever encounter a fault, you can quickly identify the disk at fault as the color coding changes to identify which disk needs to be inspected or reviewed first. This way, you can get to the root cause of an issue much quicker. So we can click through on any of these tiles and access detailed data. Sometimes we need to go that little bit deeper. Accessing the system logs gives one point of entry to download the key server information without necessarily having to go and physically see that server. This way we can see who's logging in and out and the key events that might have triggered an issue. Out of our camera statuses, system logs can be exported, so they can be shared with IT teams or with us to help with any troubleshooting. Another key indicator on here is time synchronization. This is critical when it comes to gathering evidence. Ensuring this is at 0 is what ensures that you're perfectly synchronized with real time. Okay, so we've looked around the server page. We've looked at our server performance, as well as a quick insight into our camera status. It's also worth noting here that in version 640, we now have the ability to switch cameras into maintenance mode. This way, if you have any cameras and that have a known issue, you can switch them into maintenance mode, and that way that won't mask or give you any false positives when it comes to server health. Now let's just jump back to the dashboard page to see if there's other ways that we can interact with this information. So to get through to that server before, we click through the menu structure. We also knew we had the option of scrolling in through our map view. If you notice on the right-hand panel, we have a list of common server names, 8231. There's also the option to search for servers directly. So if you know the server ID, you can tap it straight into the search bar. This way, you can go to any server. What we found before is that retrieving system logs from traditional platforms can be cumbersome, requiring multiple steps and technical expertise. As you've already seen, you can pull logs instantly and export them as CSV files for analysis. What this does is saves you time and equips your team with actionable data for quicker resolution, as we can configure Health Monitor to match your unique structure. Whether your business needs to be split geographically, whether it's by multiple sites, or whether it's by functions, we can configure this in the configuration menu. So organizations can worry if a tool can grow with their needs. Health Monitor is built for scalability, handling everything from small local setups to large global operations. Health Monitor is a future-proof investment. It's ready to meet both current and emerging challenges. So what do we say in summary? With Wavestore's Health Monitor, you're not just monitoring systems, you're actually monitoring and transforming the way you manage your security operations. You can reduce downtime with these proactive maintenance tools. You can improve efficiency with centralized intuitive navigation. And you can empower your team with real-time insights and actionable data. So this isn't just a tool. Health Monitor is a smarter way to secure your operations. So get in touch, let us know if you have a specific use case, and we can work together to make Health Monitor work for you. Thank you.